industry's yearly media circus that, let's face it, we all just love. It couldn't come at a better time. We're in the middle of the friggin' summer gaming drought when no new games are coming out, and we're all wondering, what's next? Where's the new stuff? And then, BAM! Announcement after announcement, faster than we can even comprehend them, all at once over the course of a week. Now, I've never done an E3 recap show, and knowing me, you can probably guess how my opinions play out. Generally speaking, I don't care about the big-name titles, mostly because, well, not that big a fan of first-person shooters. I literally can't tell one third-person shooter from another to the point where I actually enjoy Mind Jack and Eat Lead: The Return of Matt Hazard. Seriously. I'm not a fan of survival horror, and I don't like stealth games. How the fuck is it that the tiny handful of genres that I don't like have managed to conquer the entire fucking industry? Well, I can say there's one big-name game I care about, and that's Metal Gear Rising, mostly because they passed it off to Platinum Games, and it's not a freaking stealth game. It's all action, hack-and-slashy, awesome-looking stuff. I'm also really glad that they've turned it into, you know, a real hack and slash instead of something that looks like a move tech demo yet somehow lacks move control. Now they've turned that whole aimed slashing thing into sort of a super move, and you know what? I can dig that. I can dig that. Speaking of Platinum Games, though, Project P100 on the Wii U definitely has me interested, although I swear I saw a nearly identical game on the Wii shown at E3 like 1 or 2 years back. I don't know, but this one, regardless, this game looks fast-paced, flashy, colorful, silly, and it has super awesome air combos and some 4-player play, so yeah, I'm interested in this. Also, Tank is getting a home port on the Wii U. This was actually an arcade game, and I did play it, and it's basically the sequel to Namco's Tokyo Wars, except super deformed with that whole showing a video feed of the player's face as you play, and it has sort of an Earth Defense Force mode, which is what you're seeing in most of the trailers. That said, I can also say the game wasn't exactly, contentful. So either A, they better make this game cheap, a download, or add a shit ton of content. I will say, they put in a full-fledged campaign mode, especially one that can be played cooperatively, and I'm sold. This game would be great that way. But still, I'm very happy to see this. Little known fact, I love me some arcade-style tank games. I adore Tokyo Wars, and I can't wait to get my hands on this, even if it does wind up being overpriced. Yeah. Of course, Nintendo did announce 2 new Super Mario Bros. Games in the new Super Mario Bros. Series. You know, they really have a terrible naming scheme with that. One on 3DS and one on Wii U, of course. And, you know, I'm really fucking happy that Mario has gone back to 2D platforming. I really like that. And these games do look like they'll be tons of fun, and like they're at least somewhat of an improvement over previous ones, but at the same time, you know, it's feeling a little chintzy at this point. Nintendo's churning these out at such a fast rate, and they don't quite seem to be, I don't know, up to Mario quality, and they just keep doing things like this, you know, oh look, here's an old enemy you haven't seen in a while, and oh look, here's an art style from a previous Mario game. Doesn't that make you all super nostalgic? It's starting to feel a little cheap. Again, I'm probably gonna wind up with both of these games. They look like fun, but they just don't look like they're up to Mario quality, you know? I really wish Nintendo would look at Donkey Kong Country Returns and especially Klonoa and see how you can use 3D polygonal environments to enhance a 2D platforming experience. Do something kind of new, have flashy presentation, or at the very least take into consideration having multiple playable characters, you know, like Mario 2. Kind of been a while. But whatever. You know, I think I just need to accept the fact that New Super Mario Bros. Is kind of a spin-off of the Mario series in a weird, convoluted way. I just really wish Nintendo would make a new 2D Mario game that's up to, like, Mario Galaxy quality with the super amazing orchestral music and the flashy presentation and stuff. I really wish they'd do that sometime. But, what the fuck ever. That said, though I'm not generally a fan of Scribblenauts, the new Scribblenauts on Wii U definitely has me interested because of the whole custom item thing and cooperative play. And you know what? It's at this point that I'm finally starting to get the Wii U. I understand it. Back when I first saw it, I said, this is a stupid gimmick, and all I'm seeing is a bunch of ports of 360 games, you're going to have to do more to get me interested. Well, now I look at it and I'm starting to figure out what they're doing here. I mean, let's face it. With the Wii, Nintendo didn't know jack shit about motion control. They built their controller wrong, and they never really took advantage of it. Seriously, it took them how long to release Skyward Sword? And that was, that's like 5 years later and a controller upgrade to get them to put out even rudimentary motion control in a full-fledged game. Nintendo innovates, everyone else copies my ass! But touchscreens and a second screen, that's shit Nintendo knows. That's shit Nintendo has been doing. Not just with the DS, but shoot, with the friggin' GBA link cables back on GameCube. They get this shit, and other developers get it as well. Do I think it's going to revolutionize the industry? No, and anyone that tries to copy the Wii U tablet is a fucking moron, and their product deserves to fail. That said, I can definitely see the Wii U tablet as being something that would produce some interesting and unique gameplay experiences. Combining the touchscreen of the touchscreen and second screen of the DS with the processing power of a 360 PS3. You could definitely have some fun with it, and there'll be a few unique and interesting experiences that will take full advantage of this little gimmick. And I'm for that. So basically, I've gone from fuck the Wii U, you're going to have to do better to sell me, to, if it's around $250, $300, I'm game. I don't think I'd pay more than $350, though. They tried to pull $400, and yeah, no. So that's the Wii U, but speaking of Nintendo's other systems, the 3DS, Code of Princess is getting a US release. What is Code of Princess? Well, take a look. Why, yes, that would be Guardian Heroes on your 3DS. In fact, according to Silicon Era, this game's actually made by some of the old Guardian Heroes team. Also crazy, Dragon's Crown is made by some of the old Shadow over Mystara team. It's like a friggin' kick-ass fantasy beat-em-up reunion over here. But yeah, Code of Princess basically looks to be Guardian Heroes, except on 3DS. It even has the whole play as all the enemies and random townspeople versus mode. It has more playable characters than Guardian Heroes, though. It takes advantage of the fact that it's on a portable to let players do more RPG-ish things, like actually have different equipment they can put on to alter how their character plays. And, most importantly, it has 4-player local and online co-op. The game is slated to hit America in the fall, and I highly recommend plopping a pre-order on it. You'll get an art book and a soundtrack with it. Seriously, this is the kind of game you gotta support right now, rather than waiting until it's $100, $200 on eBay and wondering why we don't get more games like this in America. I know some people are trying to pull a whole, ooh, what's his better, Code of Princess or Dragon's Crown? You know what? Fuck it. Get both. That's what I say. If you really like the genre and you've got the systems, it'd only be a problem if you were trying to choose between a 3DS and a PS Vita, and then I'd look at the other games instead of which of those two you'd prefer. Not to mention, remember, Dragon's Crown is coming to PS3. That's how I'm getting it. I don't want to play that thing on a portable. I want that on full screen. But anyway, yeah, I say get both. On that note, though Dragon's Crown, as far as I know, didn't have an E3 appearance, I did hear that it has been delayed until 2013. Not because they don't want Code of Princess to compete with it, but because the original publishers, Ignition, had some overly ambitious estimates on when they thought it would actually be complete. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait till 2013 to get our hands on the magical adventures of TNA. Speaking of Vanillaware, though, holy crap, Elysian Tale is actually coming out! I've sort of inadvertently been following this game for like 12 years now. Okay, long story short, basically the head artist behind Jazz Jackrabbit around 2000 began a project with his wife to create a hand-drawn feature film called An Elysian Tale. Somewhere around 2009, though, he apparently either played Odin Sphere or Muramasa, said, hey, I should totally do that with my characters in the world of the movie that's going to take forever to finish, and began work on Dust, An Elysian Tale, which then won an Xbox Indie Game Award because it looks better than like every other indie game, and now Microsoft has bumped it up to a full Xbox Live Arcade release and is even promoting it as part of the Summer of Arcade, meaning that we should hopefully see it sometime in July. The game looks gorgeous, and it looks like it's going to have plenty to set it apart from Odin Sphere and Muramasa as well, despite its seeming similarities. I mean, remember, every game's a unique beast, no matter what kind of inspiration they take. So I am super pumped about being able to play that game. On the motion control front, you know, I'm really getting pissed off at the sheer number of people referring to Fable the Journey as a casual side of Fable. What, like this wasn't the casual side of Fable? Like Fable wasn't the casual side of Fable? No, seriously. I remember back with Fable 2 and 3, Peter Molyneux actively going out of his way to make the game simple and accessible, and if you think about it, they fucking were. Fable's always been a kind of casual themed game, so why are we making such a big exception with Fable the Journey? Oh, because it's on Kinect? Eat a dick. Now, I know a lot of people are really disgruntled about this because it's on rails, Fable shouldn't be on rails, they're ruining Fable. Bitch, it's a spin-off. If you stop thinking of it as Fable and start thinking of it more as magic hand gesture Time Crisis, suddenly it looks kinda awesome. The on-rails stage design does look pretty darn good, the graphics look nice, and the concept of using different hand gestures to cast different spells really has some potential, and this could easily be one of, if not the best game on Kinect, if it works. See, there's two major questions. Number one, how many different spell hand gestures are there, and how easily does the Kinect confuse them? And more importantly, number two, how much auto-targeting is there? Because I don't know if you've played Suda51's Diabolical Pitch, but you literally cannot miss in that game. The auto-targeting is so heavy that just doing baseball throwing motions means you're gonna throw baseballs and hit something. The game practically plays itself until you get near the end of the game, then suddenly it becomes impossibly hard because now you have to hit specific targets, and you can never get it to hit the one you actually want it to because the Kinect is a broken piece of crap. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent though. Sometime I need to upload a video of that mess. Try to do that pretty soon maybe. On the move, though, wouldn't you know it, the very first thing to catch my eye at E3 this year was Sports Champions 2. Mostly because I can't even believe they're making another Sports Champions. The one thing I did find interesting, I didn't even realize this, but with Sports Champions, they actively went out of their way to choose sports that weren't in Wii Sports. They wanted to avoid the same bowling, boxing, tennis, golf lineup that's been used since before the Wii. I showed you that shit with the Zavix. That's what you bring out with your motion controller. Well, Sports Champions 2 is ditching that. It's got bowling, boxing, tennis, golf, as well as skiing and, strangely, archery again. I guess Zindagi Games really likes archery because this is their third move archery game. It is fun, though. I like the archery. Obviously, I'm most interested in it because of the boxing and the fact that they have confirmed, yes, Sports Champions 2 will have custom characters. However, they have also confirmed that Sports Champions 2 will not have online play, as it is a bitch to code for motion-controlled games like this. And basically, if they spent time putting in the online play, they wouldn't have any time to put in any other features in most of the games. They should really reconsider their priorities, though, because everyone's demanding online play. They also confirmed there will be no navigation controller support. This disappoints me because there's one game that would really benefit from a navigation controller, and that's tennis, meaning we're once again going to have the whole automatically run to the ball and just do the hitting the ball gesture, so chances are the table tennis from the first Sports Champions is going to drastically kick the ass of the new tennis game. But whatever, we still got boxing, but there's still one more concern I have. They've confirmed that they're getting rid of the 3-point calibration and instead going with a simpler calibration. Probably because every dipshit Kinect fanboy that doesn't know what they're talking about kept bringing up the calibration as the move's biggest flaw. No, dumbass, the button layout is the biggest flaw of the move, not the calibration. You need calibration to have accuracy, which is the point of the move and should be a top priority of motion control. A calibration in the original Sports Champions measured the arm length and the width of your body in order to properly scale your motions to the on-screen characters. Now, Zindagi is promising that their new simplified calibration system will not decrease the accuracy. They're not sacrificing any accuracy for this. They've just found a better way to do it, but I am still concerned. If there's even the slightest drop in terms of controller accuracy between Sports Champions 1 and 2, I am going to be massively disappointed, because really the accuracy was the entire point of Sports Champions and 90% of the reason why I had fun with it. You get rid of the accuracy and it's just another waggle-based sports collection rather than the super deep, hyper-accurate, motion-based simulation it was. Still, very excited about this because boxing. Confirmed price of $40 because that is a Sony mandate. All games that require a move must be no more than $40. And it will come out sometime in fall. Color me pre-ordered. Now it's about at this point that someone would have their biggest disappointments of E3. Well, folks, I didn't really go into E3 with any sort of expectations. Really, you thought Smash Brothers was going to be shown? What the fuck is wrong with you? And if I sat here bitching about Halo 4, more Gears of War, we'd be here all day. And you know what? Who the fuck gives a shit? You can take one look at these games and you can tell these are high-quality productions. Even if you don't like them, someone out there will. And you know what? More power to them. If you ask me, what's really important is not to just bitch about all these popular games that are going to sell anyway, but instead to promote the more niche titles that more people need to be made aware of. It's way more important to tell people to pre-order Crown Code of Princess than it is to tell them fuck Halo 4. Really, it's just a waste of energy to complain about almost any of these games. I say almost because there's one game that deserves my full ire. Fuck you, Just Dance 4. I mean, seriously, I love how their stage presentation actively goes out of its way to hide the gameplay. Probably because the gameplay hasn't changed at all in now, what, 11 fucking games? It's no different. It still has the same shitty interface, lack of graphics, and horrible feedback. It still looks to be an awful fucking game that probably still doesn't have the song Just Dance. And what really gets my goat is the fact that they got to present it a second time for Nintendo. Nintendo actively made Just Dance 4 a part of their Wii U stage presentation. What the crap? It's one of the shittiest games on Wii. It's a damn embarrassment. And you people are promoting it just because it sold well? Bitch. And what really pisses me off is the fact that somehow, a brilliant-looking game like Project P100 can get more dislikes than Just Dance 4. Why? Oh, because the Sauce Boss shows up in the Just Dance 4 trailer. It's the same shitty game. Egad, every single person that ever complained about the endless rehashing of Madden and Dynasty Warriors, all these people that complain about casual games ruining the industry, all this, motion control sucks and fuck dancing games, they put all that aside for this? The fucking singularity of awfulness that is literally every single bad thing you've complained about in the Wii, in this generation, condensed into a singularity, a black hole of quality. Anti-quality equation. You people are just gonna let that slide? Fuck you! If you honestly give Just Dance a pass because it sells, go fuck yourself. Thankfully, at least someone cares about their dancing games. Dance Central 3, though at first looks to be more of the same, promises to have a crazy story mode involving time travel, explaining the whole disco music and learning the electric slide part of the game, as well as a new freestyle mode that seems at least slightly inspired by Rhythm Party's trick system. In short, somebody out there is at least trying. Now, if only Harmonix would put in some fucking custom characters. Egad, the Black Eyed Peas experience on Kinect has custom characters. Fuck, Rock Band has custom characters, and you made that game. Why the fuck doesn't Dance Central have custom characters yet? No, seriously, answer me that, Harmonix. Why? Regardless, that was E3. Those are the games I'm looking forward to, and I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble. Anyway, this is Gel, and you've been GameBabble. See ya!